Good afternoon. This is Dave Jones with StormCenter Communications and GeoCollaborate. We have a serious situation developing with Tropical Storm Debby. I'm going to get right into this. It's about 12:26 here on the East Coast. 11 a.m. update on the hurricane or the tropical storm with 65-mile-per-hour winds. But Debby is forecast to become a hurricane by the time it makes landfall tomorrow morning around 8 or 9 o'clock or so Eastern time. But the storm could be in a rapidly intensifying state. That would allow stronger winds to make it further inland. You can see we're tracking the storm on radar. We have strong bands, outer bands. You can see just west of Palm Beach in Florida. That whole line of storms is now headed to the north, and there are embedded tornado warnings that are going on there as well. As far as satellite picture goes, I want to hop right to this because I want to explain some things that are going on. You can see right now the spiral bands going around the storm. Here is the center of the storm. Here is Tampa Bay. And you can see that it's starting to close off with thunderstorms, and it is showing signs of intensification because the aircraft, Hurricane Hunter aircraft, have been flying through there, finding lower pressure and increasing winds. You can see just how far the winds or the clouds extend, and tropical storm force winds are actually making it up into the Tampa area. I'm going to show you GeoCollaborate here full screen as well, so I can show you what's going on. Here is the center of Debby right now, and that is actually inching a little bit further to the north. You can see here, this is the updated path that the Hurricane Center believes the storm will take. Now, this cone of uncertainty is really a percentage of the time that the center of the storm will pass in this cone. So about 66% of the time, the center of the storm will be here, but you can see the impacts extend well beyond the cone. What I have displayed here is rainfall threats from this storm, and this is a very serious part of this storm. So we have utility crews that are staging in Florida, ready to come in and help with the restoration of power, as power is likely going to be disrupted in the area, particularly to the right of where the storm makes landfall. And we do have a slight chance of tornadoes. That is a slight chance that will continue up into Georgia and South Carolina. But this area is the rainfall threat. This is very serious because the storm is expected to slow down. Look at all these positions of the storm being a tropical storm when it gets into Georgia, but it stays in one location basically, which is going to throw a lot of moisture off the ocean into South Carolina and into extreme southeastern or eastern Georgia here, where rainfall totals could exceed 15 to 20 inches of rain. Some localized areas could see upwards of 30 inches of rain with this storm. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because the storm, when it makes landfall in the Big Bend area close to Cedar Key, where Hurricane Idalia made landfall just last year, there will be impacts. And I will show you those impacts here right now. So we do have a wind threat that you can see highlighted in the Big Bend area of Florida. That means, what do these wind impacts mean? Specifically, it means we could see roof damage, we could see siding materials, porches, awnings, things like that, and sheds blown away because the wind will catch under those structures and blow them away. A few buildings could experience window, door, and garage failures, so we could have structural failures close to where Debby makes landfall in the Big Bend area. And also, mobile homes could be damaged, especially if they are unanchored. And so also large trees could be snapped, but because the area will be so saturated with rain, we could see quite a bit of trees uprooted. Uprooted trees that could bring down a lot of power lines if they are above ground. Fences and roadway signs in some cases could also be blown over. Now, the rainfall threat that I was just talking about could prompt evacuation orders. If you live in an area or you're responding or you know that you're in an area of low-lying land, you may want to rethink where you are. If you live there, you may want to think about evacuating because this storm is going to drop a lot of rain, particularly in eastern Georgia, northeastern Florida, northern part of the Florida Peninsula, and also South Carolina and southeast North Carolina. If you live in these areas where you see the colors, the purple is an extreme dangerous area between Monday and Thursday. Upwards of 20 to 30 inches of rain could be experienced in this area. Everybody remembers, I think, in South Carolina when we had Hurricane Juaquin in 2015. Rainfall totals in Joaquin, look at this, in Columbia, South Carolina, and also along to the coast, were more than 20 inches of rain. 15 to 20 inches, some areas seeing 24 to 25 inches of rain. This storm could rival and exceed Hurricane Joaquin's rainfall over a 3-day period. So this is a serious situation, folks, and really need to prepare for widespread flooding. That means if power is lost, power will be out for at least a week, maybe more, as floodwaters are hesitant to recede because of the large amount of rain that is likely to fall here. So again, it may prompt evacuations, may prompt water rescues with this heavy rainfall. Small streams, creeks, and ditches, they may become dangerous rivers. Dangerous rivers when the rain is falling that fast. And rainfall could be falling at a rate of 2 to 3, in some cases 4 inches of rain per hour. And that is a serious amount of rain. Flood control systems, like in Florida, could become overwhelmed and stressed. Flood waters can enter many structures, and also some of those structures will be uninhabitable or washed away. That's how serious a flood threat this is, from northern Florida all the way up to South Carolina and southeastern North Carolina. We'll be monitoring this situation very closely as Tropical Storm Debby continues to spin, because it is continuing to increase in intensity, as you can see from the satellite image from the GOES satellite, 22,000 miles up in space, monitoring all this with images every 10 minutes. But as this system starts to make its way up here towards the Big Bend area, you can see where the storms are impacting Florida. And here is that area of strong storms along the east coast of Florida. That is going to be a threat for the next 12 hours or so in central Florida. And then we're going to have the potential for storm surge. And that storm surge is going to exist from Naples all the way up to the Tampa Bay area. As a matter of fact, what I want to do here is zoom in a little bit into the Tampa area. And you can see this is the damage or the flood threat that exists. And I just want to turn that off and just turn on the storm surge threat. This is in GeoCollaborate here. So any of you watching this video within the SISE hub can access GeoCollaborate and interact with this data. But these are the biggest storm surge areas here in the state of Florida. And it looks like potential impacts, widespread deep inundation. We outline this information here so you can interactively determine if your area is under these threats. So this is what's going on. And also in Tampa Bay, there will be storm surge coming into Tampa Bay as the wind switches around when the storm gets further to the north. When the storm becomes a hurricane in this spot right here, the winds will be coming into Tampa Bay from the southwest. And that is when storm surge will be experienced. I do want to move on up into the Carolinas just for a second here to show you the storm surge threat that exists in South Carolina. So this area here are potential areas of inundation of salt water along immediate shorelines and low-lying spots further inland near rivers and creeks. So if you live from Savannah, Georgia, even down towards Brunswick, Georgia, to the north and east, there could be significant storm surge plus rainfall totals of anywhere between 10, 15, and 20 inches of rain. Some areas, again, in North Carolina, could see rainfall totals of 30 inches of rain. This is a very serious situation. We will be monitoring it all day and into tomorrow, and we'll be doing another video update likely in the afternoon or this evening as conditions warrant. Thanks so much for watching.